Hi everyone, we're going to find a power series for the integral 0 to x f of t dt. Our function is f of x equals 6 divided by 3 minus x, and it equals this sum here. So our interval of convergence is from -1 to 3. So we need to find out what our x is. Let's see. Our power series is centered at 1. So if you look at this piece here, you have x minus 1, set that to 0, x equals 1. So we're going to use, instead of the 0, we're going to use the integral from x to 1 f of t dt. All right. It's going to make our integration easier, and that's where our power series is centered. Now, let's go ahead and integrate both sides of the equation. So we're going to get from 1 to x, and we're going to write this as 6 divided by 3 minus t dt equals the integral from 1 to x, and we're going to expand this. So we're going to start at 0. You substitute in for 0, we're just going to get 3. You substitute in 1, you're going to get 3 times t minus 1 divided by 2. When you substitute in 2, we're going to get 3 times t minus 1 divided by 2 squared plus 3 times t minus 1 divided by 2 cubed, and so forth. So it's going to be plus dot 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 plus 3 times t minus 1 divided by 2 to the nth power plus dot dot dot. And so this is all going to be dt. So let's integrate it. And for the first left-hand side, we're going to get negative 6 ln of 3 minus t. And we're evaluating this from 1 to x. Okay, on this side, the antiderivative of 3 is 3t. So let's do this. I'm trying to write small here. For this piece, you're going to get plus 3t minus 1 divided by 2 squared. And then for this one, we're going to get plus 2 times t minus 1 divided by 2 cubed. And then plus, let's see, how many do we have? 1, 2, 3, we're good. Dot, 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 plus 6. Let's see, why is that 6? It should be 6 divided by n plus 1. And then this is going to be t minus 1 divided by 2 to the n plus 1 power. And we're going from 1 to x. All right. Now, to evaluate this, let's see what we have for the first part. We're going to have to move to the next slide for the second part. So basically, we're going to get negative 6 ln of absolute value of 3 minus x. And then we're going to have minus a negative, so that's going to end up being positive 6 ln of 2. All right. Now, for the second part here, we're going to substitute everything in for x, and then we're going to substitute everything in for 1. The only thing that's going to happen with this 1, when we subtract the 1, is we're going to get a 3 here. So all I'm going to do is copy this down with an x, and then I'm going to subtract a 3. So I wanted to do that because we're moving on to the next slide. So this is going to equal 3x plus 3 times x minus 1 divided by 2 squared plus 2 times x minus 1 divided by 2 cubed plus dot 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 plus, I'll put the plus here, 6 divided by n plus 1 times x minus 1 divided by 2, and then we have n plus 1. And then we had to subtract that one part. Remember we had from 1 to x. So we did the x. Now when you substitute in the 1, you're just going to get minus 3. Usually people put that minus 3 right in here, but that's fine. So now we're going to go ahead and simplify both sides. Before we had our left-hand side, I'm going to condense it for as negative 6 ln. It was, and condense it as 3 minus x divided by 2. And that's going to give you the sum of n equals 0 to infinity. And for this piece, you just copy this part down. Remember this negative 3 we usually put there. So we're just going to copy this part down, and that's going to be 6 divided by n plus 1 times x minus 1 divided by 2 to the power of n plus 1. So this is your final answer. And this centers around, we could actually write this part here as 6 ln of 2 divided by absolute value of x minus 3. We could rewrite this because of this negative. Use your power property and move it up here. And then this would flip this around. You know, when you have a b to the negative 1, that's b divided by a. Looks a little better. All right, but anyway, so you could rewrite that. But that's your final answer. And our interval of convergence was negative 1 to 3. And that's it. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.